bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for Bring 'em Out with your hosts, Joel Richardson and Alan Hill.
Hey everybody, we're here at the Sunnybrook Ballroom inside the Speakeasy for another episode of Bring 'em Out. I'm Alan Hill, here with Soul Joel himself, Joel Richardson, and today we are honored to have a very special guest, the legend, Jimmy Shubert.
Hey guys, how are you?
Now we mentioned how excited we are, but this, I'm really excited, dude. There's so many memories of this guy. This guy has come here and crushed.
Every time.
People like you, white people are always very, very nice when they leave. Like, they'll tell you exactly, but when they're leaving, they stop. When they really enjoy a show, they're like, when's that guy coming back?
Exactly.
When are you having back Jimmy?
They do the no eye contact shuffle if they don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they go, you were good, you were okay, nice shirt. Headliner feature MC. You were great, you were okay, nice shirt. I've seen it at clubs when you're doing it. Like, people are those, you were kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, hey, and you were kind of a good audience member, so we're even. How about that?
But I never realized that you were actually from Philadelphia. Like, because I knew you as a comic on TV until we became friends. But you started comedy in L.A., right?
No, I started in Philly.
Oh, you
Believe it or not,
did?
The Comedy Factory Outlet, Clay Heary. Steve Young had a room down on 2nd Street called Comedy Works on the 2nd floor of the Middle Eastern restaurant. Guys like Todd Glass, Chris Kosher, Ron Gollop, my buddy Keith Robinson, George Sharp. So there was this little...
That was your class.
Yeah, plus this guy Craig Shoemaker used to book John Barley
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Villanova.
Yeah, the Love Doctor. We know Craig.
Yeah. So we would do these little... had these little satellite rooms, and then and I was just we'd go out. I'd pick up Keith, and we'd go do like probably 3 sets, like running all over the place, and and then I think there was a place called the Philly Cookbook. You go in and use the restroom, the guy's shooting up in there. You go, okay, great, this is gonna be a great crowd. Horrible.
Okay, great.
Yeah, wow. But it was like but that was and so but I did it for about 2 years here, and then I really. Literally just kind of packed up and was going to L.A. I was thinking about going to New York. I said, if I go to New York, I'm probably still going to have to go to L.A. anyway, because I always wanted to act. I always had I went to Kappa, Creative Performing Arts High School, which I had to audition to get into. I wound up going there, and I was just like, but if acting was always in the game plan.
Yeah.
But I just love stand up, and of course I was doing magic for many years as a kid, and so I had these chops and. But I did. I went to L.A. I got enrolled in some acting classes. And I was studying acting, and I was doing scene work and working on it and trying to audition to get parts. And
well, it's funny because we now have leading up to the Melody Room, to the Comedy Room. We put up all the headshots, and we made it like a comedy club would.
Right.
But there was a couple that was stopping, and they hadn't been here before. And like, oh, these are all the comics, and on the right side of the wall were all the comics that had been inside when we first opened up, when you were one of them.
Yeah.
And but the guy looks at your headshot, he goes, "Oh, that's Jimmy Shubert from King of Queens." Like, he said your credits.
Yeah.
So it's known that, like, not only from comic, but you're known for your acting.
Well,
Tons
what's
of
funny
acting
is
credits,
that King of Queens was a pretty good show while it was on, but it become hugely popular in syndication.
Yeah, in the reruns and stuff. Yeah,
it's become hugely popular in syndications. And so, Kevin James and Gary and Rock Rubin, who worked on that show, were nice enough to include me in for I think it was like 13, 14 episodes, 15 episodes.
I wasn't sure how many times you were on, but for them to recognize that, I knew it wasn't one.
Yeah, no,
right, for sure.
Wasn't a cameo.
No, I've done a series where I was always one of the talking UPS guys, or if he had to deliver a line, like a comedic line, and give it to one. So. But yeah, they were very gracious to me. I loved that I love that they included me, and nobody got more work out. Like I think Klaus Myers or Jim Myers.
Yeah.
He did like 17 episodes and was a different character in every episode.
Really?
And so it's just that show was great. I've also but from that I wound up getting you know, I had a couple development deals. I was getting movies. I remember I walked into the Comedy Store, the movie Go.
Yeah.
The lollipop.
Yeah, and Kevin James was with Joe Rogan there.
Okay.
And I walked in. I guess they had just saw the movie. And they go, "Hey, movie star!" Like, oh,
Yeah.
Because we just saw your movie shoot. It was great. So but you know, I mean, yeah, I mean, and it's so funny because you don't think like you do like I worked on Coyote Ugly for like 3.5 weeks, and you get one little snippet in it, and I didn't care.
But you're still getting paid.
still getting paid, and also,
on set.
yeah, but you know, over the course of time. That turns into about $40,000 because of the residuals.
Oh, wow.
And
Right.
also you get your insurance. It keeps your insurance active. You get a pension fund. I mean, I got a pension fund for all the acting.
Because you have enough hours accumulated.
Well, yeah, because I did Zeke and Luther, which was a Disney show. I've done a couple Disney shows, Sunny with a Chance. I've also done ER, 2 episodes of ER. I did 4 episodes of Entourage, a couple movies. You know, so I've always liked to keep that balance. I liked it like 50% acting, 50%. I got 3 movies coming out this year. December 1st, there is a film called Don't Suck with Matt Rife, one of the hottest kids in comedy. Also with Jamie Kennedy's in it. Russell Peters is in it. I think Carrot Top makes an appearance. Jimmy Waters, but also Ellen Homa, who was in Matrix 4. But the thing of it is that that's coming out December 1st and limited. You can order it on Apple TV. It's called Don't Suck with Matt Rife. People should go check it out.
Great
But
premise
also,
to this movie, by the way.
I was just in Newport Beach for the Newport Beach Film Festival
Oh, cool.
with a film called Topper.
Okay.
With Mark O'Brien and Amanda Clayton. And it's a great film. It's not a feel-good movie of the year, but Brian Callen's in it. Eric Griffin is in it.
Oh, wow.
Kevin McNamara directed it, who's a comedian. And the comedy's kind of in the background, but it's about a kid who's had a real promise, but now he drinks too much and he's sleeping on couches and his life's falling apart. And he finds out that his mother shows up, who abandoned him when he was a kid. Finds out his dad's dying of the C word, and so he's got to go back and straighten some things out. And the club owner says, "Listen, here's the money. I bought you a bus ticket. If you don't go, you can't work here." So he has to go back and straighten out all the shit in his life.
Wow.
Great
If you don't leave, you can't work here.
Yeah.
And so what happens is you got to go
That's
handle
awesome.
it. He goes, "This is your ticket out." And so what happens is he goes back, and he's struggling to correct some things in his life, but he does manage to do it, and he corrects these things in his past, which correct his future, which put his future back on track.
Wow.
So it's really interesting. I'm getting goosebumps, but it's the performance by Mark O'Brien and Amanda Clayton. They were both on City on the Hill together. They're both. I mean, he's in Perry Mason as one of the characters, but it's really like. I mean, I'm telling you, I don't cry at movies, bro. I don't cry at movies. I'm telling you, I just one scene between him and his dad. Oh my God, so powerful. Just because I don't need you to forgive me for me. I need you to forgive me for you. You know, and it's this real heavy thing. And he's I mean, I'm telling you, I'm getting chills right now. Great performance. And then there's a movie called Puppy Love with Hopper Penn. Sean Penn's son is the lead in it. This movie was directed by Michael Maxis. Cowboy Cerrone from the UFC is in it.
Yeah, Cowboy.
He kills it, by the way. He kills it. Michael Madsen, Roseanne
Madsen's
Arquette.
in it?
Yeah, Michael Madsen, Roseanne Arquette. Wayne Newton does a fucking
Good
cameo.
Lord.
So it's just like, I mean, it's really an indie film. It's a really offbeat kind of indie film. It's like I said, it's like a ride through a sewer in a glass-bottom boat. You know, it's like if Forrest Gump, if all this horrible thing happened to him. I mean, he falls in love with a fucking crack-addicted heroin fucking hooker. Like he makes her becomes his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And so he's kind of a special needs kid. But I mean, Hopper does a great job in it. I mean, it's those 3 films. They're the kind of movies I like because they're not like anything else. There's no fucking fast food restaurant tied in with the promotion of it. It's real great acting, and they're great, well-written movies, and they're well shot, and they look great. And that's the kind of shit I like. They're the movies I like to watch.
Oh, that's great, man. I'll see all 3 of them.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you a question with the back to doing the sitcoms and like Kevin, not with King of Queens. King of Queens.
yeah.
I was gonna say Kevin can wait a second series, but like when you did 13 episodes, like does being a comedian, being on set help? Like, because I asked you, we joked around being at dinner earlier, and I asked you one thing, and you started talking for 40 minutes.
Well, yeah.
Like I know when to shut up and listen to you. What does it happen on the set when you're among
Here's
your
the thing.
peers?
Here's the thing. they're uber professional environments. All right, you have fun while you're doing it, but I'm also spending a lot of money. What people don't realize is most sitcoms don't make money until they're in syndication, and you need 99 episodes before you get into syndication. That's why what they do is they shoot 99 episodes. And that leaves them one, like if you before negotiation, if you want to go in syndication, this is what we're doing. I mean, that's a little leverage power. I mean, I don't know how it's changed. I mean, TV's changed so much now.
Yeah, of course. Streaming and everything else.
8 episodes, so it's different then. But obviously, sitcom acting was the greatest schedule, and show. Working on a sitcom is the greatest thing. It's like putting on a play every week.
Yeah.
I mean, Monday table read, Tuesday another rehearsal, then you do camera blocking on Thursday, and you film on Friday night in front of a live studio audience. So it's like it's a little nerve-wracking. It's like a play.
Right. So you're in one episode, but it's a week's worth of work.
Oh yeah, and then it comes on about 4 or 5 weeks later. So it's like, but my buddy Rock Rubin, who was a stand-up with Kevin and Gary, who were
Long Island
brothers,
guy.
but they used to tour together. But Rock became one of the writers in the show. But he created a character called Jimmy, believe it or not. And so he goes, and he would call me. He goes, "Shubie, you available?" Like he would give me some heads up. So if I had a gig, I can cancel to do the show. I said, Rock, obviously being on King and Queen takes precedence over personal appearances, and some style, like I say, if you want to, I mean, I was flying out to do stuff. I'd hit Denver. I had to buy a plane ticket, turn around, and go back to audition for something because it was like something like. But I mean, it's I was committed to it. I loved it. I've had my own development deals for my own sitcoms. It's just crazy. I got caught in a regime switch at Fox Studios. One guy's out, new guy's in, out with the old. Then I got another one, and the same. Like, but it's like they call it development hell for a reason. I mean, you meet with like 15, 20 writers, trying to find out what you do. Do you get me? They're watching you do stand-up, trying to figure out what your point of view is, or what the show would be to develop for you is. I mean, anybody who knows is you got to be a little bit lucky. I mean, obviously, anybody that's working, you got to be talented, you got to work hard and all that, but you have to be a little bit lucky too. And you have, because it is. I mean,
there's a lot of hard work.
I went to Afghanistan. I went to Afghanistan with Drew Carey, and I was talking to him about,
the Drew Carey show
process.
But both you guys were performing for the troops?
Yeah, he called me and asked me if I wanted to go to Afghanistan in August. I said, it's so funny you ask. I just got off the phone with my travel agent. I hear it's lovely this time of year. And he starts laughing. He goes, "You're in." So he starts laughing. He goes, "Great, we're doing it." I said, "Perfect." But you couldn't go with a nicer guy than Drew. Drew was just like the nicest guy. Took every picture, signed every autograph. He used to be a Marine. He was in the reservists. And I said, I at one point, we're flying this Alpha Class Chinook fucking AC-47 whatever, and we're all wearing Kevlar vests and helmets. And then fucking the back of this big chopper, the guy's sitting there with a 60 caliber machine gun off the back, and they're firing off countermeasures, which if someone fires the countermeasures, you're in a war zone, bro.
That's
no
heavy,
Yeah.
dude.
And I just said, "What are you fucking bored, man? What? I mean, you got a show on TV. You got a million. What the fuck is wrong with you?" He goes, God, this guy's. But Drew was. I'm telling you, we went with Steve Byrne, Dave Mordell, Pedro Hernandez, myself, and Drew, and truly a trip of a lifetime. One of my favorite things I've done, just because I got to perform for the troops. In fact, I was at a show Monday night, and this guy, Master Sergeant Derek Kimbrough, who was one of the guys I performed for over there.
Really?
Yeah, he was a Ranger. In fact, he brought me a hat that said Ranger, honorary Ranger, because when you go do those shows for those guys, they don't forget. And because you literally. We went to Methulam, Camp Raisatabad.
You're a bright spot in their day.
We flew into Bagram, and dude, they're all sitting there with their M16s.
This is when it was hot.
Yeah, and these guys, dude, it's 111 degrees, and these guys just got out of a firefight, and they're coming back, and you're telling dick jokes. It's
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service. But they were, but truly one of my favorite things I've ever done. I mean, I really love. It's so funny, man. I've been to China 3 times. Wow. This is back before all the COVID shit. But I went to Shanghai, Beijing, Suzhou, Wuxi, Nanjing, Macau, Hong Kong, Singapore. And I did 3 tours.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask. And I don't know if you remember this, but you brought the wild card, my dad.
Yeah.
We went up because he was promoting his last special, or one of his last specials.
Yeah.
And we went to he did the Compound Media with Kumia, and then he did Bennington, and then Unmasked.
Yeah, I did Bennington.
Yeah, so it was a triple thing. We went along for the ride.
My dad,
my dad falls asleep on the couch. the middle of the interview, and I'm like, that's how much he's
It's a wild card.
That's the wild card. But it's so funny. Your dad was living in Shenzhen.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is right across from
Right.
Hong Kong. It's right across the. Right
But
across
you're wearing one of the jackets that they made for you because you performed.
No, what I did was that jacket was I was getting ready to. The first time I went to Korea, I was doing a welfare, morale, and recreation tour because there's over there, and I didn't have a coat. And the guy my buddy JJ, who since passed away, used to run a comedy club in Rochester, but he gave me that jacket. It's it was like Kings and Queens of Comedy.
Yeah.
It was like something like, and what I did was it had like a Miller Lite thing and somebody else's name, and I just took the patches and covered up all that shit, and I came back with a really cool souvenir from that trip.
Dude, it was really cool.
No, but that's the and people always you wear it. I'm not. It's not stolen valor. I mean, there's a place I did go do those shows.
Oh, yeah.
And so those were like
That's
souvenir
legit,
patches.
dude.
but-
Yeah.
It's 100%
But
legit.
It was like wearing a varsity jacket if you didn't play the sport.
yeah, exactly. Well, no. Well, listen, when you flying into a fucking war zone, bro, you earned the fucking. You know, I mean, I'm not fucking. We're getting off the chopper. I've got a helmet on, a vest. And I go, guy goes, "What are you doing here?" I said, "We're the comedians." He goes, "What are you doing here, though?" Like, we're, must not be very good. You know,
Yeah.
you must not be very good. He goes, "You should have been here about this time yesterday. We're shelling us." I go, "That must suck." He goes, "Nah, they're not very good shots. Come on." We go in, but I mean, you know, dude, it's adventure travel at its best. It's no joke. It's but it's like you just got to be a fucking pro. You know, look at it. You know you're doing something for these people that are doing a really difficult job, put themselves in harm's way. So I was always like, and I've done those shows for years. I mean, I've been all through Europe with Germany, Munich, Edelweiss, all those Belgium, Brussels, Netherlands, doing shows for those. Also down through South America, we went to Honduras.
Wow.
We did Greenland, we did Cuba, Guantanamo Bay. Then we flew to Honduras and El Salvador, Puerto Rico, and did some Coast Guard bases, but different bases. But I've done those for years, and it's fun. I've always been felt like so blessed to be able to do this in my life, but I always want to give back, and I always want to do it for worthy things. And of course, there's not to mention
Beautiful thing.
all the stuff you do for charities, muscular dystrophy, American
Yeah.
Heart, all the kids, especially children's charities. If I'm off and I'm available, I'll do them.
Right.
It's just I've done a lot of that over my lifetime, and so I always felt just obligated to give back, and so that's one way to do it. But on my schedule, what I could do or what I could afford to do,
Right.
and make it work. And so, but there's incredible adventures. I mean, I've been all over the world, literally. I mean, I told you I was getting ready to go to the Philippines for just a vacation, but
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
been in that part of the world before, so I'm not. It doesn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've been in Korea like probably 4 or 5 times, twice for filming, 2 times for just doing welfare, morale, and recreation shows.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so I've done a lot of that stuff. So it's like, I love that stuff. I mean, that's the thing about, that's my buddy Tom Rhodes does it. Tom Rhodes is
Tom Rhodes.
Tom
Man,
Rhodes'
Tom Rhodes is
passport's like
great,
this thick. I mean, that guy goes everywhere, and so because you don't want to just be. I mean, you go. It's so much fun to go see the world. And
Yeah.
I mean, I went to China.
Getting paid to do comedy and travel the world.
I went to the Forbidden City. It's Forbidden City, but yet there's a Starbucks in it. I mean, it's centuries old, and there's a Starbucks. It fucking figures.
Forbidden to capitalism.
But and yeah. So and then
Little hypocrisy.
yeah, and then you do like the Acomel Comedy Festival, which was done by Stand Up Records and Dan Schlissel, and that was done in Acomel, Mexico. But all the money they raised were for like the Montessori schools over there.
Oh,
'Cause,
cool.
like if you were able to help support these schools and these kids get a traditional Montessori education, it makes a big difference in the outcome of their life.
The
And,
formidable years.
Yeah. And so they get and so all that stuff. It's like, what's the fucking point if you can't give back?
Right.
It's like I went to Israel. It's so funny. I was telling you this the other day. I was going to Israel, and 2 of the other comics who were on the show canceled because this is back when the Hamas was firing rockets in Israel, and I'm sitting there going, well, I'm going. One of the guy called me. The other guy goes, hey, I just want to let you know I'm not going to be able to make it. I don't know, if that thing. He goes, what if they bombed the airport? I go, first off, bro, do a little fucking research. Okay, the Israeli airport only closed one time, and that was 1973 because of a baggage handler strike. Okay, not because you don't fuck. I mean, those Israeli Jews aren't like American Jews. You fuck with those Israeli Jews, you wind up in a dumpster with a bagel up your ass. You know?
Yeah.
But-
I'm headed to the airport.
Yeah. So I go, yeah, well, I'm going, and I was going for a different reason, but I wound up going with Butchie Bradley and Dwight Slade, and I had an Avi Lieberman who books it, but I had a fucking blast. I found it to be just an amazing trip, and the people were so, couldn't be any warmer, and they were nice and whatever. So, yeah, I've been very fortunate. I've been to Ireland. I got to do the Bulmers Comedy Festival in Ireland. My whole family came over. My mom and dad, my aunt, my uncle, and we had this great trip to Ireland, which is fucking amazing.
That's beautiful.
And with my family, and they got to see my dad got to see me perform in Ireland at the Olympia Theater on Dane Street.
Oh,
You know,
I mean-
and the theater's been around since like the late 1800s. You could only imagine all the people that have performed. I love that shit. I love going into a theater. It's been around since the 1800s. Lily Langtry, the first lady of the theater, had a little dressing room that they kept pristine conditions.
Yeah.
And
The theater that you and I did at the Valley Forge Casino was
Yeah.
called the Lily Langtree.
Yeah, well, she had a dress. She had a
I didn't
dre-
mean to name drop so early into the
No,
episode.
but it's so funny. I was touring with, they had the red velvet rope
Yeah.
up around the dressing room.
Yeah.
And I was doing I was opening for Sam Kinison. I was with my buddy Dan Barton. And I said, it's off limit. Lily Langtree, first lady of the theater. That's her dressing room. And I had done my show, and there was an intermission. I'm out there talking, and I wound up meeting a girl. I'm bringing her back.
Not Lily.
No, not Lily. No, fucking Lily was long gone by that point. So, you sick fuck, would you dig her up? No, but she was, so I wound up, and I'm looking for a place with this girl because she was getting all frisky, and I ducked into the Lily Langtree room that had the red, and I closed the door, and I look, and goes, where's Shubert? Where's Shubert? And I goes, this fucking lunatic's in the fucking Lily Langtree. Schubert, get out of here. And I went, but you fucking assholes. I was getting ready to have a climax. And they go, Paul, you sons of bitches. But, never leave the bus, bro. You know what I'm saying? Never leave the bus.
Wait, well, so that's why I wanted to ask you. We talked off camera about countless comics that you've helped along the way. Did that come from guys like Sam Kinison helping you, mentoring you, or
Yeah, well, you know,
or is it guys that treated you badly and you know how not to treat people?
Well, first off, I know how difficult.
And
it is.
I'm not saying about Sam. I don't know. I've never asked you.
Here's the thing. Yeah, that was see. The difference was like when I was touring with Sam.
Yeah.
Like I was working. I was calling. I would go to my hotel room. I would call the comedy club. I'd invite the booker and the owner out and give them 4 tickets with backstage passes. So they would come backstage. I'd introduce them. I said, these guys were Sam was, oh, great. And so then I would circle back around and I would do all those comedy clubs in the cities we just played. That's how I got on the road. That's how I was. I was using my noodle always. Wow. And plus I was doing creative run. I was like, at one point I was like a trucker. I was driving, I was doing triple runs. I was doing the creative runs all through the Southeast. I just never stopped working. It was
I'm an idiot. What's a triple run? I don't know.
A triple. It's all through up in Idaho.
Whoops!
And,
like you drive
Washington.
thousands of miles for like 3 gigs or something crazy, right?
Basically, essentially, yeah. You feel like a trucker. Got to drop a load of jokes off, and they were like one-nighters. Like one nighter in Pueblo, Colorado, up to Montana, Cedar Bluff, Virginia.
Who cares?
But anyway, all over. Bro, places I should have never been. All these little bacons and grits outposts. There's no guy had no business being there, but I didn't give a fuck. Because the thing is, if you wanted to get better, you had to do fucking stand-up. And the thing is, either you make a decision in your life, you're going to become a bitter fucking guy, or you're going to become better. You're going to make that decision. You're going to become bitter, or you're going to become better. And so I made the choice to become better. And just as I said, there's going to become a point. And eventually I hit a point where I won't do those gigs anymore. But for right now, I need to pay my bills and I need to get good at what I want to do.
You took action.
I took action, exactly. And so there was nothing stopping me. I didn't want to. I just wanted to keep going and doing the stuff. But But it's like, on there. It's so funny. I talked to a friend of mine, Richie Benervini, and I said, he goes, Shubert, I've done gigs for $5. I've done gigs for $10,000. All right, I just want to fucking work, you know.
Well, he came and he headlined for me at the Valley Forge Casino.
Oh, no kidding. Okay.
And at the time, he was the one that was running the shows at the Brigada. I was like so happy to have him there, and I was networking and having. And he pulls around and throws me his keys. I'm like, "This ain't the Brigada. There's no valet parking." I go, "But I'll park your car." He gets in the elevator with the suitcase, and he pressed all the numbers to the on the thing. Like I go, "You're on 10." And I don't like he not all of them, but he like pressed half of them. I go, "Man, no matter what level the comic's at, I go, we're all a mess."
That's the truth.
But I love Richie. He's great. He's great.
No, but, yeah.
It made me laugh because I was like I was holding him up on a pedestal, and I'm like, oh, he's just one of us.
Yeah. No, hey, dude, let me tell you, it's funny because it's funny because you do this, and like I say, you say yes, a lot of people have helped me along the way, but just with advice. With the bookings, with some stuff, some people have recommended me. Always guys like I got to talk to Paul Mooney. Like he would tell me, he goes, and pick his brain. You catch him. I sat with Gary Shandling for like 20 minutes talking about stand-up comedy because I was a big Gary Shandling fan, and I used to watch his stand-up. I used to watch it, and he was
brilliant.
Just one of the greatest writers ever. And also, like I would ask him, I said, "Do you write dirty?" Because he would do jokes that were sometimes dirty and sometimes clean. He goes, "I just write what I write." But it was like getting him to sit down.
No intention.
And just like pick his brain a little bit. And then Louis Anderson come on and goes, "Okay, class is over." But also, busted our balls. But I think I gave him a tagline, just one of his jokes, because that's what you do. And then Yakov Smirnoff was there. You get to talk with us. I was friendly with Dice when I first got out there. I wound up touring with Sam Kinison, but also Carl LeBeau and Mitchell Walters, and there's a whole list of guys. I mean, these guys, but I mean, it was like one of those things that you kind of just immersed yourself in it.
Yeah.
And you hung out with these guys. They were all fucking characters. I mean, Mitchell Walters was just a total grifter. I mean, this guy this guy was he was a card mechanic, so we had that in common.
Yeah.
But also one of the funniest fucking joke runners, like pound for pound, just one of the funniest guys I've hung out with. But he's a hot fucking mess. He treated life like a betting window at the fucking track. And he was a complete fucking drug addict. It was like
We were running the like I started before I opened Soldier. I was running satellite rooms everywhere.
Yeah.
Mitchell Walters is the only comic to ever light me from the back of the room to start the show.
yeah.
Like a real maniac. He was like, "Let's go."
He was
I don't know what else he had cooking.
He if I had to place the bet, I got to place the bet. If I can OTB, the window's going to close. He's just fucking. I mean, let me tell you something, brothers. Mitchell passed away. And God rest his soul.
And then LeBeau this year, right? Or was last year?
Well, he was in. I think he was in February. LeBeau was in April or May of that year, and I lost another. I had a year where I lost. The last 2 or 3 years, like people were dropping like flies. I just said to myself, man, life's fucking short, dude. You better live your life and do all the shit you want to do, because there's people out there making a living doing it that are nearly as talented as you. Number one, and also, you're going to come to a point where you're not going to be able to do this shit anymore.
Yeah.
So do it all. Get it out of your fucking system. Do everything that feeds your soul.
Yeah.
And fucking do it.
Right.
Do it with passion and be happy to do it. And listen, it's just. I mean, it really kind of just my attitude about this life, because it all comes with an expiration date. And if you're lucky,
And you don't know when that is.
and you don't know when it is. So live your life, and don't be fucking scared, and don't be. You have to go after the things you want, and you can manifest all that shit into your life if you believe it, and that's all that's required. I mean, I don't know. I didn't have any famous relatives. In fact, I wound up in show business and all. I was able to do TV and movies and wind up touring the world doing stand-up comedy. I was like just sheer fucking willpower.
Force of will.
And just grit and determination to go make it happen. But I know how tough this job is. I know how, I'm always kind to comedians coming up. I don't have to be a dick to anybody, because believe me, there's plenty of people that will be a dick to you. I'm not one of them, and I know how tough it is. And so I'm not going to go out of my way to make it tougher on anybody. In fact, I go the other direction. I try to help as many people as I can. If I believe in them and think they have talent, then yes, I'll help out. I'll say, what you should get? I've done it with you a bunch of times, but, But also, it's like, yeah, I think you're obligated. I think that's the only way you can pass down the art. There's people that are fucking good performers. You want to encourage that person. I'm going to, that person's got.
Keep our network tight.
Yeah, keep the network tight, but also encourage people that
Yeah.
you think, oh, that joke's great. What you're doing there is great. I remember talking to Sebastian. And I'd say, Sebastian, I said, and he was a waiter at the thing, and I would always talk to him. But he was one of those guys I just always really liked watching. He had something very unique. And
Charisma.
He had charisma, but his performance style,
Oh.
because like, all the comics would imitate him. They were all doing him on the front patio. That style, that delivery. So I said, that's like a kind of giveaway thing where people can do you, and like I said, it's like. It's so.
It shows you built something for yourself.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like, and here's an interesting point. Here's an interesting thing that you could go, like, look at Dom Irera, who was here the other night.
Yeah.
And I love Dommy, and know him a long time, but what is Sebastian doing that he didn't do? Dom was doing all the Italian stuff, and all the things, big people. I mean, he was doing all that stuff. I mean, he was doing. I mean,
I don't have the answer.
Well, no. I mean, I think first off, I think Sebastian is. I think he's got a great team behind him. Number one, he's got a great, incredible team behind him, and of course, but it's all that family entertainment stuff. But you got to keep recreating it and keep talking about like family entertainment, bro. Family entertaintment's where it's at.
Oh, if you want to be huge, if you want to be a megastar,
look at Brian Regan. I mean, that guy sells out like he does
fluffy.
And one of my favorite performers. I love Brian Regan.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's clean.
Yep.
I don't think he says damn. Maybe he says his shit.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's just as funny as anything you'd ever see.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a potty mouth, but I don't have to be. None of
Right.
my jokes rely
Right.
on it. I don't know. Anyway, the point is, it's just you see. I mean, it's. Yeah, I've been pretty fortunate where people help me out or thought at it, like and would say, "Hey, you should try this, do this." And some of the funniest lines in my act were always like people always give me taglines. You go, "That's so funny."
Sitting in the back and
you should tag it with this. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, it's that's the way it should be.
Like you said, give and take. You're helping people. People are helping you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think that's what happens. I think the one thing I know to be true in the universe is that whatever you put into the world comes back to you 10 times. So if you want to be loved and respected, then you love and respect people.
Right.
If you want to be a great, if you work hard on your craft, and whatever you put into the world comes back to you. So if you put negativity and hate and bitterness, then that's what comes back. And if you put out love and kindness and help people out, then that's what comes back. And so I can't tell you how many times that the universe itself is just kind of, I was going, what the fuck am I going to do now? And all of a sudden, oh, Jesus. I mean, why would I doubt it now? It's been, I've been taking care of me for a long time. I've been doing this for a long time. Started when I was 17, and now it's turned into this.
So you moved to LA when you were 20?
Well, 19.
19.
I turned 20 out there.
Wow.
Yeah, I was so determined. Because I could go out there and I go, if I fall on my face when I'm 19, 20, 22, I can always jump on a plane and come back.
No doubt.
What did your parents say?
Well, they weren't happy about it, but what are you going to do?
Wasn't your dad like a Philly detective or something?
Yeah, my dad was in Philadelphia. I worked homicide, worked Central Detectives, and he finished his career with major crimes. He was
trying to imagine you going to him and telling him you're moving to LA to become a comedian.
No, yeah, my dad was an old school fucking dude. It was like he didn't get. You should get a job with some benefit. I go, yeah. Listen, that's for you. That's not for me.
Yeah.
My dad had 6 kids, so.
Right. Well, now you're a part of SAG. You got benefits.
Yeah. So, but anyway, exactly. So there you go. But no, I've done. Yeah. There. You happy? You happy? I got benefits. Go fuck yourself. No, but it's funny. Eventually he came around. I mean, it's one of those things.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's just. I mean, he was just incredibly protective because he knew what the world was capable of and what people were. I mean, he would deal with lunatics.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's they call it the blue psychology. Is like, a lot of those cops deal with scum of the earth for fucking 8 hours a day, and then they got to go home. They got to shut it all off and go home and be a family guy.
Incredible.
And so it's like sometimes they can do it, and sometimes they can't do it, and sometimes they drink because they want to numb the shit that they see. With
No
fucking
doubt.
people like showing up, a guy blew his fucking head off, and you got to stand around this guy for 2-3 hours to blow out the police report.
Then deal with your wife and 6 sons.
Yeah, and deal with your wife and 6 sons. So, but my dad knew what the world was like. He was just just looking out for you. And,
Right.
and my dad's father died when he was 8, so he definitely had a, he was a little bit, he's just a little overprotective. But
Right.
I don't blame him. He's trying to keep you fucking alive. It's like any parent. My job is to keep you alive until you can take care of your fucking self. Don't do anything stupid. Stay, you know what I mean? It's like, it's not the thing. Till you can figure it out for yourself. But I was always doing stuff like that. I mean, I was always. Like people go, I had a great fucking childhood. I had great brothers. I'm still close with my brothers. I love all my brothers. My mom and dad are still together. My dad looks after my mom. I mean, it's like, I just did it because I love making people laugh. I mean, I love to make people laugh. I didn't have a fucked up childhood. People go, yeah, no, you were fucked up, Shubert. I'll tell you that. No,
No, we'll deal, bro.
I say I'm not. People go, oh, no, you're fucked up, Shubert. Believe me, you're fucking nuts. No, I say, I don't think I am. But I say, oh yeah, you are. You're fucked up. I say, oh, okay. But
Had a cup of coffee at 7 p.m.
yeah, so it's it is what it. But I just always loved doing it. I have a passion for it. I love making people laugh, and it's funny because it's fun part. You just thinking of trying to write funny stuff to say, and then you realize there's a little more to it than that.
Yeah.
And then you realize those people in the audience are what it's about. It's not about me. It's about them, and it's you don't even know what those people are going through. Believe me, I've had a lot of people come up to me after shows and goes, "Oh my God, I was at my aunt, and she raised me. She was practically my mom, and she passed away, and I was just really upset. I was going to come in, and I did. And I got, 5 minutes into your show, I was just laughing uncontrollably, and I couldn't believe it. I was so sad, and so I wasn't going to come. But things like that, you never know who's in your audience. And I never take it for granted. I never phone in a set. I never ever phone in a set. I mean, if there's 10 people, I'll work my ass off for 10 people. I don't give a shit. I'm never going to take it for granted because I'm so blessed to be able to do it. And it's time to you gotta have a cup of coffee at 7 o'clock at night to get you through the show.
Yeah.
Right. No doubt.
But
no doubt.
I'll never phone it in. I never take it for granted. I know how blessed I am to be able to do this, and so I really do take the writing of it seriously. I take the presentation of it seriously. I craft bits and I work on my shit all the time. And I know a lot of people are doing crowd work now, and some people do it better than others. But also, there's a flood of fucking a lot of people doing crowd work on social media. I got fucking Jesus. I thought the writer's strike happened 2 years ago.
Well,
but
dude,
I mean, could you imagine being a comedian and never having to write a joke?
Right.
No, I mean, people do it. I don't know, but I've seen a lot of mediocre crowd work, and I'm going, why would you post that? It's fucking mediocre at best.
Right.
You're not doing yourself any favors. I mean, look, it is what it is. I'm not the fucking judge and jury here. You can do whatever the fuck you want, but I haven't been able to get work on the road. Well, it's because you're social media.
Dude, you talk about not mailing it in, and a bunch of times I've seen you get that high laugh. And I go on stage because I think you ended the show, and you look at me, you're like, it ain't over yet.
Jimmy's one of those guys that gets layers
Yeah,
of
yeah,
laughter.
yeah, yeah.
Like, it'll get to here, and you
Yeah.
think it's done, and then it goes to here,
Yeah.
and then it's here, and then it's here.
Yeah,
Something
I'm
else to
giving him
behold.
overtime.
It's
Back,
special to watch.
Overwriting.
go sit down, Joel.
Joe, relax. We're not done. No, but I love crafting bits. I love coming on because I'll sit there and I'll just write for like hours and just go, how's the, and I'll fucking try to figure out the best way to say it. What's the funniest way to say it? How if I say it like this, and it's a rhythm thing with me.
Yeah.
Because I'm a ranter, and it's like jazz music. It's a rhythm, but it's also with the vocabulary as my toolbox, the use of words, the way you use words inside. When you're going on these things, you're trying to fit a whole paragraph into one sentence, and so that's what that's what I love about it. I love. Carlin is one of my heroes, and I just loved his command of the English language. I just love listen to a lot some of these people that there's a guy named John O'Donohue who's a poet and a priest, but he has such command of the English language with his little thing. And it's just such he paints these great vivid pictures with words that you go, gee, it's fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
The guy speaks in a way you just love to listen to him. That's what you say. You speak in a way that people should love listening to you, or write in a way that people would love to hear what you have to say. And so those things I do take. I mean, where you can just take the simplest observation and make it completely fucking hilarious because of the way you word it, or the way you approach it, the way you look at it, or your take on it. Because it really is. I think, a lot of people are talking about a lot of the same shit. I mean, everybody's doing a self-checkout bit, or this guy's doing that bit. Or, it's not because you saw them do it. It's just because these are the things you're doing. I mean, there's this thing called parallel development.
No doubt.
But you watch, when you could tell, I would always start, like I would be at the Comedy Store watching these guys, and then 5 guys would do the same joke. But I could tell you whose joke it originally was by the way they tagged it.
Oh.
Because they didn't just do the joke. There was like that, which means he put extra thought into it because it was his fucking joke. But other people would, and it was like
Just say the line and move on.
they said the line, move on, yeah. And the guy whose original joke it was would like tag it, bop, it means he thought about it and put more thought into it. So I always knew. I go, well, and some of the jokes weren't like anything. They were like they have a shelf life of 2 weeks.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
maybe it's parallel development. Maybe a lot of people thought about the way, or it's the same joke just said differently.
Would you see a lot of comics accusing each other of stealing, or more just parallel writing?
No, I would say it's parallel writing. Some guys would some guys would, but other guys are out and out fucking thieves. Like I would not go on the room when Carlos Mencia was in the room.
I was wondering if you were going to bring him up.
Yeah, no, because I didn't.
He was the most famous one ever.
No, but he earned it.
Mm-hmm.
He earned it. I mean, he did 3 of Cosby's jokes. Like,
Yeah,
off
that's
his fucking-
right.
Like I mean, like
That's
he,
crazy.
Like, and he goes, no,
Off of
no.
himself, I think, right?
Yeah,
or something that well
but
known.
like, what are you, a fucking idiot?
That's crazy.
And then Ari Shafir was doing this bit, and he did it, and fucking Joe Rogan called him out on it, and it was true. I mean, his name's not even Carlos Mencia. His real name's Ned Holbrook. I mean, he's Honduran and half Swedish, and he's playing this fucking muchacho me cata, me culo es mucho caliente. I mean, what the fuck is it's so look, I know Carlos, and it is what the fuck it is. But I mean, he even said I was called on a radio station because he got caught, he got popped, and it fucked with his career for a little while.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, but you earned it. You did it. You were taking people's jokes. You were doing it on your TV show, and you didn't give a fuck about anybody. And then he would go on stage and he would do 45 minutes in front of people when you're supposed to be doing 20, and he would walk the fucking crowd or ruin the fucking room for everybody else. And he earned it. You're a prick, and now you got nothing. And certainly nobody in this fucking business respects him. That's for shit sure. And I mean, he was always nice enough to me, but I never got close with guys like that. You knew it was just a matter of time. But you talk to guys like Steve Trevino, it's like, oh no, he was bad. Like, and I'm working with Steve at the MGM, and we're doing a David Copperfield Theater December 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th.
Nice.
I love Steve. His act's so great.
He's
It's such
funny,
a
man.
family. Talk about family
Wait,
entertainment.
had that
a
not
funny
happened
guy.
yet? This is the first time you're going to do it? Because you were telling me this back earlier this year, I
No,
think.
I did 3 tour. We did three shows with him in Florida. We did Tampa, Orlando, and we did the Florida Theater up in Jacksonville where Elvis played.
Get
Wow.
That was cool.
Dude, what was
Sweet.
that like, man?
That's awesome. I mean,
You're in the
just-
same green room as like Elvis
yeah,
was?
Yeah, the same. Yeah, you get to hang out. You go to. I
Yeah.
love.
It's not the
I
Lily
love-
Lang tree.
No, I love that shit though. I know.
Keep it in your pants.
That's right. Elvis would have wanted me to fuck.
Elvis would have loved it. Elvis would have loved it.
Hold on your pants. Show me your shmoony, man. Why can't I fuck you? Well, it's 1 for the money. It's 2 for the show. 3 to get ready now. Go, guys. Go, get on with you. No, it's I don't want to talk. I'm not talking shit about anybody.
No.
Everybody knows what everything is. I'm not. Look, I mind my business. I fucking stay in my lane. I do my shit. I root for everybody. All my friends. I don't have a jealous bone in my fucking body. I really don't. I root for all my friends to win. Their wins are my wins, and that's the way it goes.
Dude, but that's why, like, and you've been headlining for decades, but your network of friends is so tight that you were telling me a story about how, like, Russell Peters had you open for him, and you were already a killer, but you're talking about opening for like 10,000 people. I think it was at Dubai.
No, we went to first off. He had me do. We did Vegas.
This is how I
We
mess
did
up the
Vegas-
story,
We
sorry.
did Vegas at the Palms, and Vegas. Russell was one of the judges the year I did Last Comic Standing. And I knew Russell, and I knew his reputation pursued. Everybody said what a great guy he was. And sure
Sweetheart.
enough, sweetheart of a human being. Like like one of the best people that I've met in show business. Just great. And so I went and did Vegas with him one night, and then he calls me and goes, "Hey, what are you doing?" He goes, "You want to go to India with me?" And I go, "Are you fucking serious?"
Yeah.
I love fucking
Yeah.
international travel.
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
I mean, I flew almost 24 straight hours to get there. My head was swollen.
You gave
I
You gave him the same answer we did to Drew Carey. You're like, I'm in.
Yeah, and I got to go. We did like a bunch of shows over there for the 6,000. First off,
6,000. Sorry, I said 10.
Yes, but
The legend continues.
Yeah, but Russell's like
Keeps
Elvis
growing.
in India. Russell's like because Russell. Here's the interesting.
They're
thing.
throwing panties on
No,
stage.
well, first off, they're not like English is their second language. Number one.
Yeah.
Number two is like comedy is a unique stand-up comedy is a uniquely American art form.
Yeah.
So it's like they're not like it's not like because they love Russell and Russell's been going there for years. He turned them into comedy fans, and the internet's made the world a little smaller now. But dude, I mean nobody makes a room like 6,000 seats as intimate as Russell Peters. I mean, dude, I'm telling you, it is absolutely. To watch, it's fucking beautiful.
It's another art form.
It's on another level, and so fucking hilarious. And he knows everything about everybody and everybody's culture. I mean, it's like to do that. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, and he's really an international comedy superstar. People go, no, internationally sells
Yeah.
out
Yeah,
shows
for sure.
all
Yeah.
over the world. Like two shows in Hong Kong, 6,000 seats, 2 shows in one night. Like, and dude, and he brought me to India, which was first class all the way, hotels, everything, and shared his culture with me.
Yep.
Shared his audience with me. Shared the food with me.
Yeah.
Bought me fucking 2 suits.
I was gonna say
And he had the therapy suit. So then the jackets. It was
Yeah.
because of my therapy cap.
Yeah.
like you were best man in his wedding.
Yeah.
You only
exactly.
opened for him.
And,
Amazing.
Russell Peters is, like I said, one of the most generous, nicest guys you'll ever meet in this business. In fact, he's a real international superstar and just gracious as can be. And man, I love the guy. I think the world of him. And he was nice enough to let me do that, but also he was very gracious to me during the filming of Last Comic Standing. Like, he goes, "They're coming for you. Get ready." Yeah, he goes, "You might." I go, "No." He goes, "They're coming for you. Get ready." And sure enough, I mean, they say it's reality television. It's the Last Comic Stand. They weren't looking for the funniest fucking comedian. They obviously had it all figured out. They were just trying to figure out how to get to the
The
end.
most
They wanted.
marketable comedian or whatever they look.
Well, the guy who won, I ain't heard much from.
Yeah, which is it backfires when they try and pull that crap.
Well, listen.
Who won your season?
Rodman won my season. But Lachlan Patterson, Rocky Laporte was on that season. Me, Nikki
Glazer.
Nikki Carr, Ada Rodriguez. Yeah, it was
Wasn't this also a long-awaited reunion for you with Roseanne?
No.
Or was that a different season?
Yeah, I'm not gonna talk out of school, bro. I mentioned it on Mark Meyer's podcast. People know the story. Not really proud of it, but hey, whatever. But I love Roseanne. I think the world of Roseanne too. I love her.
She's great.
I love her fucking. She's got balls. She got more balls than most fucking dudes.
Oh,
do.
what happened to her when she came back and did the TV show is criminal to me.
Well, first off, let me tell you something. This is how fucking dumb people are. First off, I know people have taken Ambien when they've had a couple drinks, gotten up in the middle of the night, painted half their fucking apartment,
Yeah.
woke up the next day, don't fucking remember it.
Yeah.
I know a guy got up in the middle of the night, cooked a fucking steak, woke up the next morning and thought somebody broke in his house and cooked a fucking steak. He don't remember doing it. So, well, the people that make Ambien, it may not make you racist, but I guarantee you'll do shit you don't fucking remember.
Knock knock. Who's there? It was you, stupid.
Yeah, exactly. So fuck Ambien.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is that the joke she was look, you can't call her a racist. She's got an African American grandson, for God's sake. I mean, she has like this woman is not fucking racist at all.
The original Roseanne show put a scene where her son kissed a black girl in 1986 for crying out loud.
So anyway,
trailblazer.
So the point of it is that they like when they come after you, they come after you. And the fact of the matter is, and the fact like the joke that she was trying to do was fucking true, and it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but you fuck with somebody like, oh, we can't have you making fun of this person.
Right.
And these people are very fucking selective. The people want to have fucking drive-through abortion fucking clinics, want to fucking lecture me about the sanctity of life. Go fuck yourself. It's like there's such fucking double standard fucking motherfuckers. I just look what they did to Russell Brand. Look what they go after these people who speak the truth. Because the further a society drifts from truth, the more they hate those who speak it. And I'm sorry, she was doing a joke. Okay, whatever, missed the mark. But still, you can't get mad at people for fucking taking a shot.
It's a
Yeah.
joke.
You can't. And I'm sorry that people are so. But this cancel culture. What I love that Matt Rife did, he did a joke like, he said we went to the restaurant, and he goes the
Yeah.
joke, the opening. You saw the
Yeah, yeah,
domestic
yeah.
violence joke. He goes, what are they gonna do? He goes, obviously they're gonna put it back. Obviously she can't cook. Cut. I mean, that was the joke. And then he does a fucking apology, but he fucking puts a link up to a fucking special needs helmet. For obviously it was a joke for people who get offended at
That's
fucking
great.
jokes.
Got him
I mean,
again.
see, the problem is that you have to be really smart to get jokes.
Right.
And if you're fucking dumb, well, you don't get the jokes, and you take it personally, and you think it's about you when it's not about you. You narcissistic fucking cunt. Okay, it's not about you. It's not about you, and this is how it's so funny. Your life is so fucking amazing that you have to unturn rocks to looking for shit to be
Right.
pissed off about.
Yeah.
Why can't you just flip the channel? People got a mouth. Believe me, it's just it's unbelievable. You go, how the fuck could you be this stupid? Well, because you've been years of being socially conditioned. You've been programmed by that little black box that TV said, which is rubbish. And people just can't do any critical thinking anymore. They can't figure it out.
Yep.
You're at a comedy club. I should have to say I'm just kidding after everything I say at a fucking comedy club because
Yeah.
you're too fucking stupid to get the fucking joke.
Yeah, man.
So I don't know what to
Amen,
tell you.
Jimmy.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. These people have to rob the fucking joy out of every little fucking bit of life. You have to fucking wring all the fucking joy out of it.
But meanwhile, when they want an opinion, who do they call? Comedians. When they want writers and to punch up a show, who do they call?
Let me tell you
Comedians.
something. If I want to know what's going on in the world, comedians are the people I listen to.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
If I can go listen to Joe Rogan's podcast, one of the most informative. I
Yeah.
guess some of the
Modern day
smart-
philosophers,
No doubt.
right?
And as some of the smartest fucking people on, and some of the baddest motherfuckers on, and you go, yeah, I'll listen to that fucking podcast all day long. It's fucking life changing with the information that you get.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been doing cold plunges because they're so fucking good for you. You get introduced to stuff like that, and you go, oh,
I
wow.
thought something different was about you.
No, dude, I'm telling you all that because they don't give you this information.
Right.
You gotta go, you gotta go down the rabbit hole. By the way, the rabbit hole is extra. Anyway, but when you go down the rabbit hole, you gotta go down the rabbit hole.
That's on the
And once you
Patreon.
start going down the rabbit hole, it's a bottomless. Like you realize, you wake up one day and you go, holy fuck, I don't know shit. Everything I thought that knew to be true. Okay, fluoride in your toothpaste, that's fucking straight up fucking poison.
Yep.
Margarine, straight up poison. The shit that these fucking people do are allowed to. You're talking about a society that poisons your own fucking children.
Yeah.
You're poisoning with the fucking, hey, we'll put some fucking Fruit Loops in with all the fucking coloring and dyes in it to cause fucking liver fucking shit. And,
How about that four basic food groups thing we learned when we were kids?
yeah, well, the fucking food pyramid. Well, they flipped it because they realized, if you go back and do the research on Rockefeller, who decided, like if you could make petroleum-based medicines,
Yeah.
and he took some of his money and he invested it in these medical colleges and got them to teach medicine the wrong way. Like, if you're going to a doctor for your like, for some health advice, you're in fucking bad shape. I got news for you. They're going to put you on a pill. Like they said, I saw this video where the doctor was talking about that dementia, and maybe not so much dementia, but Alzheimer's is a physician-created disease. Because, they talk about cholesterol. By the way, the 250 number is bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. There's people who have 600 level cholesterol. Everybody's different.
Right.
And
Thank you.
also, your body has to produce cholesterol. New cells generate in a cholesterol environment. Like your brain sits in a pocket of fluid, and that pocket of fluid that protects it's cholesterol. So if they put you on these statins, which are these cholesterol-lowering medications, well, then it depletes that fucking thing, and it makes your brain vulnerable to fucking, having dementia or Alzheimer's and stuff like that. But all of it is fucking poison. These people are like, first off, you're like Joseph, what you're doing to children today by transgendering them. First off, just follow the money, because the money, it's all about the money with these motherfuckers. For every kid that transitions, that's $1 million to Big Pharma over the course of their lifetime to pump them full of all these synthetic drugs so they can prance around and pretend to be something they're not. And what they don't tell you, and I talked to a clinical psychiatrist about this, 68 to 72% that fully transition wind up committing suicide because your body can't process it. And you're putting all that fucking face estrogen in your brain, and it makes you crazy. Look at women. They got estrogen and they're fucking nuts. You know what I mean? Could you imagine pumping it into your fucking head? You'll go fucking crazy. So anyway, they wind up killing themselves. But they don't tell you about that. And you're butchering children. What you're doing to children is no different than what Dr. Mengele did in the concentration camps where they did experiments on these fucking children.
Yep.
You are the fact that you want to play this game or pretend like you know I'm supposed to believe in science. Oh, not the science of science. Not the science of science, our science. The science, not the science of the vaccination. Not the science of biology. No, that's the science we want you to believe. It's science. 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 Listen, let me tell you something.
Preach it, Jimmy.
No, but what? It's just like I like if you have a little sliver of gray matter between your fucking ears.
Yeah.
Then you could just like look at this and go, well, that doesn't line up. That doesn't make
Yeah.
sense to me. First off, you should be going out in the sun. You know, people's exposure to the sun, it's down 51% because we live inside. Nobody goes in the sun anymore. But skin cancer is up like 30%. Oh, what's the common denominator? That skin cancer cream that you put on yourself, it's full of carcinogenics. So that's what causes the cancer, not the sun. The sun's the life giver. You ever notice houseplants? They lean towards the sun. Lean towards the sun. It's the life giver. You're fucking hiding in this fucking. Go get some sun. Go get some vitamin D3. You fucking stuttering, buttering fucking prick. You. Stop putting that sunscreen on. Use a magnesium-based sun, like zinc oxide. Use a mineral-based sunscreen. You've heard it here first. We'll be right back after these commercial messages.
Follow Jimmy Shubert on Instagram, Facebook. He's got 5 specials.
Yeah, I got about 6. My 6 will be coming out called Clown Shoes.
Clown shoes.
Yeah, because it's I said like getting through life anymore today. Just getting from fucking leaving. Most people don't know shit from apple butter, but I mean just get out of your house, go to work, and come back. It's like fucking walking through a minefield in clown shoes. So the new special is called Clown Shoes. I'm gonna release it on YouTube. I'm just gonna give it away. But also I got a new album coming out. I got 3 movies. Check out December 1st on streaming, Apple TV. Don't Suck. Please support that. I'm telling you, it's fucking hilarious. You'll love it. It's a comedy horror movie. Matt Rife plays a vampire. Jamie Kennedy and him are fucking amazing in it. So go see that. Also, keep an eye out for Topper. And also Puppy Love, which is a great kind of offbeat indie film, which I love those movies. So keep an eye out for them. You follow me on Jimmy Shubert on Instagram. I don't do fucking Twitter anymore. So just Instagram me. IG only, baby. And don't slide into my DMs, will you?
Alan Hill, Jimmy Shubert, Soul Joel. Thank you.
Peace out.